The Pennsylvania Department of Health has reported 2 cases of the new strain out of the United Kingdom. Aaron, the policies really vary at health networks across our region. Here at Geisinger, they look at things like positive cases within the hospital, and trends we're also seeing throughout the state. Take a look. You can actually still see some of the blood on the sidewalk. We are told both victims were responsive when they were taken to the hospital. The county has received about 54,000 ballots, which will be counting until 10 o'clock tonight. Now, let me take a step aside and give you a look here. This is where the ballots first arrive here at the Election Bureau. Staff will be back at it again here tomorrow. You really won't notice too many differences. They're making snow. There's already a couple inches on the ground. State police say Erica Schultz's body was discovered in a wooded area east of Hobby Road in Butler Township. Now, 42-year-old Harold Hallman has been charged with kidnapping. They've been sanitizing the terminal around the clock. You'll also notice signs throughout the terminal like this one telling people to stay 6 feet apart. It was here at the Geisinger Community Medical Center in Scranton where Bissett first sought treatment. He would become one of the first COVID-19 patients the health network would see. PennDOT tells us many of these drivers have been working 12-hour shifts these past few snowstorms. We've seen many of them coming through here today, restocking on salt and anti-skid. And just to give you a sense of how high the snow comes up on some of the sidewalks, I'm 6'2". You can see it comes up to my knees right here. And some neighbors say their main concern is where the town's going to put it all. Vice President Mike Pence jogging into Pennsylvania 17 days ahead of the election.
It's great to be back in Pennsylvania to see the incredible enthusiasm here in Reading.
The Vice President speaking one-on-one with us following the conclusion of his campaign event in Reading this afternoon.
The people of this state know that in President Donald Trump, it's been promises made, promises kept.
In 2016, President Trump won the battleground state by a little more than 44,000 votes. The vice president confident that number will increase this year as Pennsylvania sees a surge in voter registration.
He's literally kept every promise he made to the American people that saw 7 million jobs created all across this country in our first 3 years.
His visit comes as the state sees a surge in COVID-19 cases. This afternoon, the Pennsylvania Department of Health reporting more than 1,800 new people have tested positive.
And they've seen this president lead us through this challenging time in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, where we're literally, we believe, just weeks away from the first safe and effective coronavirus vaccine.
The vice president also calling on Congress to provide more economic relief to families and small businesses.
We think the Democrats in Washington need to stop playing politics. They need to come to the table and support our efforts to provide nearly $2 trillion in aid to families and to businesses.
Something he says will only happen if the 45th president returns to the Oval Office.
So I think as people look at this president's leadership, as they look at the record, the people of Pennsylvania are going to vote for 4 more years of President Donald Trump.
Vice President Pence is scheduled to stop in the Harrisburg area on Monday. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania Democrats are holding a virtual Broken Promise tour this weekend. In Reading, Jack Reinhard, Fox 56 News, first at 10. John Doreen Clampone says her dog Bean needed emergency surgery, so she took her to Creature Comforts in Saylorsburg. Now she and others are calling for the facility to be fully investigated. Now we want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see might be disturbing. Doreen Camplone says she's among more than 2,400 people signing a petition demanding Creature Comforts veterinary service in Saylorsburg be shut down.
I had called a few veterinarians in the area. Creature Comforts is the only ones who returned my call.
According to Camplone, her dog Bean needed surgery for pyometra. She says she was told Bean would have to stay overnight before returning home.
Took her home within the week. I noticed that her gums were getting white and she was getting very lethargic, and she's a very talkative dog.
That's when Camplone says she called Creature Comforts and they allegedly told her to bring Bean back in.
I brought her in. There was something detached in her abdomen area. That I was told.
According to Camplone, she got 2 miles down the road before bringing Bean back again.
I looked down and there is, Bean has, to me, it looked like an organ that was protruding out of her incision. So I immediately called on the phone. They said, bring her in. We turned around, brought her in.
Camplone alleges she never received an explanation from veterinarian Dr. Karen Brightlock. She says being returned home with these stitches, and after that is when she took her dog to her primary veterinarian.
He took his stitches out and he was very appalled.
Camplone has filed a complaint with the Department of State. She is also part of this Facebook group called Shut Down Creature Comforts, with more than 3,000 members.
Many stories kind of corroborate that how I've been treated.
We had an interview arranged with Creature Comforts this afternoon before they called us saying they had a conflict and could no longer do it today. They emailed us a statement saying, quote, "It has come to our attention that there are individuals who have had issues with our services. For the past 34 years, we have strived to provide the best medical services possible for our patients. We are unable to comment on specific allegations given that this is an ongoing matter. We thank our clients for their years of support." According to the state police, an animal cruelty investigation was done in 2020. Now, there's still no word on the outcome of that. Brightlock is also facing federal tax evasion charges. Live in the newsroom, Jack Reinhard, Fox 56 News, first at 10. The tree balers are out, and business is booming at Jensers Tree Farm in Lehighton.
We have a lot of people out, and they're just thrilled we're very fortunate that we can be outside. We can be, very safe with everybody.
After a successful fall festival, owner Ryan Wentz says he's anticipating crowds will continue rolling right back in this holiday season.
So we kind of got a feel that it was going to be early this year. Talking with the other tree farms in the area, kind of everybody was on the same page, like it's going to be busy early. Because of a lot of uncertainty.
Once even bringing on a couple extra helping hands to keep up with the high demand.
I would expect the next week or two to be like today, as long as the weather cooperates.
A half-mile down the road at Crystal Spring Tree Farms, owner Chris Botek isn't letting the pandemic stop long-lasting family traditions.
We've had a great weekend. We have a lot of people. We had really blessed with the weather.
Botek seeing crowds coming out from far and wide.
I get people from even a lot of the area. Allentown area, the Lehigh Valley, they come. We get once in a while we get people out of state.
However, he says the rush will soon dwindle down as trees are strapped onto roof racks and moved off his 200-acre farm.
This weekend's really busy, and the following weekend is really busy, and then it starts to taper off from there.